Hey, niggas like, yeah, we recording.
Nah, I mean,
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, sir. Best Conversations Podcast. Episode 58, I think. Welcome back to another week of this great program. Got a couple of guests in here with me today. Yeah, episode 58. Yeah, I got a couple of guests in here with me today. Y'all know this man right here.
What's good?
Done turned himself into the mother freaking sound engineer slash that guy. Trying to stay busy. That's right. From Unfiltered Podcasts, we got that boy T Mac in the building, man.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Sitting in on Best Conversations Podcast. But we got a new partner to the table today. Me and homie go way back. Came in on short notice, but you know what I mean. But like a real friend, like he did, came in. You know what I mean. Held it down. My partner DJ Los in the building. What's happening with you, brother?
What's going on, bro? I appreciate you having me, man. It's an honor to do it.
Yeah, man. On such short notice, we had a whole different thing set up for the day, but you know the show must go on. Before we get started, man, how y'all doing, man? How's everybody? You know, how's the life? How's the fam? Everybody?
I'm maintaining, man. You know, things ain't how we wanted to be, but I still feel blessed. You know, that life is still going on. You know, life ain't crumbled on me. You know, but you know, just maintaining. Trying to stay on the radar, man.
Yes, sir. Tone, man, you been on vacation all week, bro.
Vacation, bro.
Vacation.
Yes, sir.
Man, how was your vacay, man?
Man, you know, took the kids out, took them to the beach, man, for a week. We just chilled out, man. You know, get away from everything. No working, just chilling.
Just straight chilling.
Man, ain't do nothing but eat, drink. It was like 70 degrees down at the beach, so I'm in the pool. You know, kids running around, but yo, it was love, man. I needed it.
Yeah, man, we definitely all just need a reset from everything. Before we get into the show tonight, I like to just get into me and Los's backstory on how me and Los know each other, and you know what Los do and all that good stuff. So me and Los, we actually both used to run around Greensboro back in the day. We didn't know each other then. But we actually met when I used to work for FedEx. Shout out to my boys that we used to work at FedEx with, Phil, John, and all them boys. So me and Los. So I've been at FedEx a while at the time. I was already at FedEx for a while. I think I was on year number 2 at the time. I think this was just about to start a year number 2 at FedEx.
True story.
And so Los comes in, and you know what I mean? Los was struggling a little bit. He was struggling a little bit over there at the X. And you know what I mean? But I already knew bro was a good dude. Like we already knew, like, you know what I mean? So a lot of similar cats. He know like some of the cats from back in the Berg and shit. Like when the cars with some of them cats.
Sure.
And so I just kind of took Los under my wing. I was like, look, dog, you gonna make it, my nigga.
Yo,
you gonna make it.
I'm telling you, man, that type of motivation really helped me through, and just somebody just to, you know, to help you out when you're going through something hard, man, just meant a lot, man, because you're already struggling, and then you just like, man, it's no other option.
Right.
But, you know, for somebody to just come through, like, man, look, if you need anything, just call me, man, I'll come help you, man. Mm-hmm. So I ain't got nothing but respect for this guy, man, to be honest.
Yeah, man. So since then, that was like, sheesh, I was probably 13. Yeah, that was like 13. I was like 13. Ever since then, me and Los been cool. You know, some cats you can't really kick it outside the clock. Yeah, so, true. And yeah, me and Los been tight ever since. And then from there, I just seen his elevation Now, DJ Los.
Big Los, DJ Big Los.
DJ Big Los.
Yeah.
Tell the people, man, how'd you get into the whole DJing thing, bro?
So my uncle was a DJ. So growing up, I used to be with him. I would go with him to set up his equipment, but of course I couldn't be at a lot of the things that he was doing because I was a youngin'. So he would go DJ at clubs or parties. So I would go with him earlier that day and set up his equipment, just to help him get it set up. And then I'll come back the next day and help it break down. I did that from a little boy all the way through my teenage years. So my uncle passed in 2013, and my aunt basically gave me all his equipment. So I sat on it for a while. I thought about selling it, but every time I would try to sell it, nobody would pay me what I knew it was worth. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, I'm gonna just start playing with it, because I already knew how to set everything up. I just didn't. I wasn't familiar with like mixing music and things. So I started playing with it and fell in love with it, and it started being an escape from work or personal life, and here I am today, DJ Big Los, man, and like I feel like that's one of the best things I've done.
Now, what's been like, and this is not like tonight we talk about a whole lot of range of different things. It's not the Big Los episode, anything like that. But I still like to get into people backstories and all this other good stuff. But what was like some of the challenges in the beginning, like doing the parties and doing that whole circuit?
Man, it's for one, the DJ game is so saturated, man. It's like everybody's a DJ, And honestly, when I started DJing, I wasn't even taking it serious. I thought it was like way easier than it was, but it's actually a skill set you got to learn. It's actually skills to it. It's more than just playing songs. It's like knowing your crowd, knowing what to play at a certain time, knowing how long a party is, when to get the crowd hype. You can't throw all your good music out at the beginning.
Absolutely.
So it's so much more to it than just playing songs. Then the other side of it is people don't like to pay you your worth. Your equipment costs money, your time, you work, load your equipment, and it's real work. So people,
Absolutely.
I don't think people quite understand like the what goes into DJing. So that's the struggles I went through. I had to actually just sit down and study DJing, like dudes that did it before me, dudes in my local area, YouTube. It was a lot of things I started studying, and I'm still learning. I never start learning, So that's pretty much it, man. Like learning the game.
You gotta definitely learn your game and definitely learn your craft, but you definitely have definitely like put your stamp down as like an official DJ now though, like for real, like from the mixing and all that, like it's definitely really dope, and it's dope to see like from afar, like
Hey,
man, that's
you,
my
man,
dog.
I got a video right now I look back on with you. You came to my house when I stayed in an apartment, and you was just like, man, I was playing horrible, but you was giving me so much positive, like, man, just keep going, and you know what I'm saying, like, so, like, I never forget stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, like, so, from that time to now, like, I can't see growth, but I'm sure when I look back 5 years from now, I'm gonna look back at now and see growth. You see what I'm saying?
Right. What's your before we get into Tyler, what's been like one of your favorite parties or any, like, just one of the highlights so far?
I love DJing weddings.
And they pay the best.
They pay the best, and I love because at a wedding you're not so boxed into one genre of music. You could play a little bit of trap music. You could play a little old 90s music. You could play line dances. You could play so much you can play, at a wedding, so many ranges you can play. If you play in the club, you kind of boxed into what's new right now, and that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying. You could deviate a little bit, but that's the majority of what you're gonna play. At a wedding, you have the people that's getting married. Their parents are there, you know, their grandparents. So you have to play to that crowd, and it's a lot of different ranges that you can go in. So I enjoy doing weddings the most. Yeah, the club thing is cool, but give me a wedding.
Word. And if somebody wanted to book you, how can they find you?
They can find me. My phone number is 919-394-5728. 919-394-5728. I'm on Facebook as Carlos Big Los Bailey, and I'm on Instagram as LosBoy87. So any of those will work. And if you're watching this podcast, you can even contact Kayvon, you know, if you want to link.
Yeah, we'll work it out for you. All right, man. Best Conversations podcast, man. We here a few days away. If you see on the screen, the Gucci Man, Young Jeezy battle. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Really, we all thought it was about to be the T.I.
Right.
versus
Curveball
Jeezy.
City.
Right. We all thought it was a T.I. Jeezy battle. But I think people are really happy that this is going to be this. Like he was talking before we got started, like Jeezy threw that out there. Like I really wanted to battle Gucci. And
it was kind of subliminal. You know? It was like it wasn't disrespectful, but it was like a subliminal shot. Like, yeah, I called you out, you denied gracefully, but you the original person I wanted. You the main, you know.
Right.
you the beef and potatoes that I want, man. So yeah, it was.
Yeah. And I think this battle's gonna be dope if it happens. Because just last week in hip hop we lost like two young cats.
Yeah, King Von, Mo 3.
I wasn't familiar with either one of those cats either.
One was from Dallas and one was from Chicago. Everybody know how that Chicago scene is. You know, it's a lot of violence, a lot of murder with those cats. The guy, Mo 3, was from Dallas. He had some confrontations in the city of Dallas too. But I just hope these guys, man, can get on track and, you know, do music. You know,
right.
leave that other side alone, because it just don't make sense to get all that money and just die. You know,
right.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So. And that's the hopefully the greatest thing that come out of this battle is like, look, these two and Lord knows Jeezy and Gucci. I think Gucci probably not 40 yet, but I'm pretty sure he's at 40.
I think he was born in 80.
He born in 80?
Yeah.
Oh, so they 40. Yeah, he's 40. Yeah, if you born in 80, you 40. And I think Jeezy probably like 42, 43, probably something like that.
He's something in that age range. I don't know exactly how old Jeezy is.
So yeah, if they sit down and actually make this happen, this will definitely be huge for hip hop and everything.
It's definitely needed, man.
It's definitely needed, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what? So Icy, was this the first time you ever heard of Gucci too?
That was the first time I heard of Gucci.
What about you, Tom?
Nah, I think I heard something. I was real big on that, the mixtapes and underground music back then. So I think I already heard of Gucci by then. I'm trying to think, what year did that come out?
So 05.
05.
Yeah.
05.
He had Black T out, but I didn't learn about Black T
till after this
song.
Right.
Yeah, that's like how, but it did, you know, if you're from Atlanta or that area, you might, you know, but I didn't personally know about it. So.
This is definitely the first time I ever heard or seen Gucci Man. And then at this time, at this time, Jeezy was so on fire.
Yeah, he had the Boys in the Hood joint going crazy. Yeah,
all his things that was popping.
That mixtape with Drama was going crazy, man. Like it was.
So it definitely seemed like, in my mind, from afar, it just seemed like Jeezy was doing Gucci a solid.
At that point,
yeah, it seemed like he was just doing him a solid.
Yeah. But I think he sparked something in Gucci, man. At that point, man, like I think whatever they went through made Gucci go hard, man. And he probably created a monster, man, when this happened, man.
So right after this came out, they eventually started beefing immediately.
It was over this song.
Over this song,
right?
Jeezy say he never wanted to do the song. I think what I heard Jeezy say, he never wanted to do the song or something like that.
What I understood that happened was Jeezy wanted it on his album,
right?
And Gucci wasn't going for it,
right?
They couldn't come to terms on what needed to happen with the song, so that fueled the beef. And then Jeezy was supposed to perform with Gucci this song, and he denied. I ain't gonna say he denied. I think that's during the time he had that throat surgery,
right?
And he couldn't do it, so. Right. That also added tension to it.
Added a lot of tension.
Right, what was going on?
Added so much tension to it, and it definitely went crazy. Next thing I look up, this nigga Jeezy dropped "Stay Strapped."
Stay strapped, man.
I was like, damn, that's how you feel?
745 from Gucci, man.
So when who was that? Man, I can't remember the dude's name, man. They did Hard in the Paint. What's his name?
Oh, Waka Flocka.
Now, when did he come out?
Waka Flocka was like 09.
Yeah, that was definitely like 09. That was like when Gucci got locked up. He started hitting hard.
Yeah, after Gucci got locked up. Yeah, and Lord knows for many times.
Right.
So many times. But when see, I didn't really know the backstory of like the throat surgery and all that. I was just like, why Jeezy going so hard at this nigga? Like, talking about if you see him with the chain, knock it off his neck. I was like,
I put 10 stacks on him. Like, people was literally trying to get the 10 stacks.
Trying to get that 10 stacks.
It wasn't even just his people. It was like, people was trying to get the 10 bands, man. Like, 10 bands in 2005 was a little bit different than 10 bands in 2020.
Right, exactly.
It was a lot different.
It was a lot different. And so after Jeezy dropped this, I'm just trying to make sure that the timeline's flowing. Gucci kind of went ghost. I think he got locked back up.
He was locked up for 9 months whenever the altercation happened with the robbery.
Right.
He was locked up a span of 9 months for that. Mm-hmm. So during that 9 months, I don't know if this came out or what, but that was the gap. And it was like when he came back out, it was just like he started dropping all these mixtapes.
Right. It seemed like a big gap. And I think
it was really almost like,
because it almost seemed like Gucci was a one-hit wonder. Right. After he dropped so Icy, I never really heard anything.
So he was grinding underground Atlanta for a while.
He was one of them BMF boys back then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was grinding. Gucci was grinding underground Atlanta. Everybody started attracting to him about around 2008. Late 2007.
Right.
So this happens like what?
05.
Right. And then you have like that gap.
Yeah.
But during the time, Gucci is actually working. You know what I'm saying? He in the strip clubs dropping his songs and stuff, and he started to take off. You know what I'm saying? And the world started to listen to him around late 2007, going into 2008. Like Freaky Girl and Pills and all those songs started hitting. Everybody started, listening to his mixtapes and stuff in North Carolina area. That's
absolutely. Yeah, like you said, around 2008, it definitely changed for Gucci when he dropped whatever the movie.
Right.
The movie 1 or movie 2, I think it had Drama hosted. it definitely changed. Because I really wasn't up on Gucci because he just seemed like a mixtape nigga. Like it was just like all these mixtapes, and then back then it was so hard to keep up with all the damn mixtapes.
His first album was actually solid though, man.
Yeah, Trap House.
Yeah, like it was, and he had some club bangers on the CD, man. Like one of his before that mixtape that you talking about, like he had that mix talk, Chicken Talk. It was that Chicken Talk was like it was crazy in the street, man.
Right.
It was real crazy in the street.
And yeah, Chicken Talk, Ice Attack 2,
Right.
Bird Flu, No. Yeah, that EA Sports Center thing, that was, I remember people going crazy.
That was pretty hard.
That was pretty hard.
That's what that Gotti was on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Mac the Trap Say A was on that one. Like that was the first time everybody heard Mac the Trap Say A. That was the first time everybody heard Bricks probably. You know that
around that time when he around the time he put out OJ the Juice Man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
On the flames to the point I was in. You know, our favorite spot, Minaj in Greensboro.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to Minaj. So, the shit got so crazy with Gucci. Like, they playing, like, whole Gucci sets.
Oh, yeah.
Like the whole Gucci sets is like they're playing, like... And so, Jeezy was still going crazy with Recession. But then they go right from that to this whole crazy Gucci set.
Yeah.
And I was like... Damn, I'm a dog, I'm a dog, I'm a dog,
yeah.
I'm a dog.
He made nothing but club music.
Yeah, nothing but club music.
It was like the era of where you could play like a lot of mixtapes in the club, man. Because a lot of Wayne stuff was getting played like that. Little Wayne mixtape stuff was getting played. So that was the era of like where dudes were on, like they was dropping a lot of music on mixtapes. That was club bangers, man.
Right.
Like certified club
DJs
bangers
back then, though, that would solidify that.
Yep.
They actually can put the music out.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Back then, you know, it's a little different now, but they had so many DJs back then that
Cannon,
DJs
Holiday, Drama, all
right.
Yeah.
Even Green Lantern was still popular.
Right. It was a lot of. You're right. You're right. It was a lot of like mixtape DJs that were.
Right. That's how they made their clout.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's always like, you know, like up north, you know, all of them had, well, I ain't say all of them had, but, you know, Clue had the most, you know.
You know, like, it was like Flex, you know, Flex drop bombs and stuff. Yeah. Bring it back a million times.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we talking a lot about Gucci. We can't forget about Young Jizzle.
And earlier, I'm going to say it, because earlier y'all was talking about, y'all talking about Gucci, not that's talking about BMF, but that was actually Jeezy.
Jeezy, that was down BMF.
That was definitely Jeezy's movement, man. And they were deep.
Like, real deep.
So we can go around the room. What was the first Jeezy song you ever heard? Or your first time seeing Jeezy? What was?
I think that when I started noticing Jeezy, it was like that him and that Boys in the Hood, man.
Right, mine too.
And like after that Boys in the Hood, it was just like everybody. I used to go to the CD, man. We used to have the store in my hometown called Urban Connection that used to sell the mix CDs. So I went and got his mixtapes and stuff and the fake album and everything, man.
Right.
You know. But yeah, man, that's when
this was the very first Jeezy song. Hold on, I gotta cut the ad down. But this was the very first time I ever seen Jeezy, and the first time I seen this video, I said, I believe what he's saying. Like it seemed real, like for real. This is the very first Jeezy song I ever heard. This is the first time I ever seen his face. I was like,
this used to go so hard in the club. It was like, man. Yeah, I remember this joint, yeah.
And I think this is before. I think this was right before he might even sign his Def Jam deal. I think he did this video independent. I think he paid for the shit himself.
Yeah, them boys was violent back then.
I seen BMF and CTE in Myrtle Beach that year. It was like 05. when I graduated, yo, that was walking down the street. It had to be 100 of these dudes, man. And they all had on a T-shirt, man. Anybody that was at Myrtle Beach in '05 had to see them. They had to see it on the strip, man. Like it was like 100 of these guys, man, walking down Ocean, man. Like, and I knew their presence was like nobody else's, man. Right. It was just like, what can you do?
It was about that life, though.
Yeah.
It was about that life.
People knew too, because it wasn't, okay, if you ever been to Myrtle Beach, some people will try to drop their nuts on you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Be like, I ain't moving.
Right.
When these guys came through, it cleared out, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no, F these dudes, you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it was like, oh, they knew their presence was there. Mm-hmm. Everybody was just like, and I didn't even realize it. I had a video recorder. I ran it back and looked at it, and I was like, and I didn't know who BMF was at the time, and I ran it back and looked at it, and I was like, oh, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it started to click to me, man.
Yeah. So this comes out, then I hear him on the Fabulous album. The song that he did on the DVD that he was like recording on the floor with his shoes off. I let me see if I can find it.
I'm trying to think.
I don't remember that one.
It was on Fab's album.
And this was all before Thug Motivation.
It was all before Thug Motivation. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Let me see if I remember this shit. But this was the second time I seen him. I remember hearing the song first, right, and then I watched the DVD, and then watched him when he was. You remember the Trap or Die DVD, like the first DVD he put out?
I remember.
He was like high as fuck recording the shit on the floor. Shit was wild.
I remember this song.
Yeah, this was the second time. This was the second time I think I heard him.
See, these songs right here that you playing, I heard these songs after that Diddy joint that he had with Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
So, remember I said I went to the Urban Connection spot, got these. So all these songs I was hearing after. You see what I'm saying? Like, they had all these songs on the CD, and it might not even be the official CD, but they.
Yeah, you know how to bootleg, man.
Right.
So let me just put all this together. Right. We don't even know if that was the official Trap or Die mixtape.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So that I started hearing these tracks like after that, man.
Exactly. Yeah, but then Jeezy, when Jeezy came through, man, it definitely felt like shit was real. Like, everything he was saying was like
he really had people like attention, like beyond like just like, oh, he nice or whatever. It was just like people was so glued. Every block you would turn, people was playing Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? Like non-stop.
I haven't seen. I only seen that maybe like a couple of times in my lifetime. I remember like Homecoming 2001 when Jay-Z dropped Blueprint. I seen like everybody playing Blueprint. When Jeezy dropped, he just had the mixtape out and some other little songs, and I heard everybody in Greensboro playing.
Every corner you turn, it was like I couldn't believe it, man, because at that time, females would be like, I ain't listen to all that rap. I need some R&B, but when I heard females rapping every verse and singing there, I was like, this a little bit different, man.
But in North Carolina, especially back then, North Carolina, we kind of went to the Georgia rappers.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
They sounded the most like us. Like, that's the most like we could relate to. Like,
right.
It was definitely like those the closest accents that
right.
we could relate to.
Yeah, when he did the Trap or Die DVD, and I bought the DVD, and he was like in a Lambo. He was like in a Lambo before, like, I'm like, how the hell you got a Lamborghini? You just a rap nigga. Before that, you just rap nigga, just have like regular rap nigga shit.
What was he with?
Yeah, he's running around with BMF.
Yeah, I can only imagine, man. Like, all that stuff they rapped about was real though.
Real,
Like
yeah.
them pulling up to the parties with 100 Lambos and Vets and Raris and like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a different level, man.
And then when they started banning like the snowman shirts.
That Can't Ban the Snowman mixtape was crazy.
Yeah.
But that came from because everybody was wearing that snowman shirt, man. Like it was a crazy movement.
They had to ban that shit from school.
Yeah, like people
had to ban
was
that
wearing them joints like in high school, like get suspended behind it. You
Right.
know?
A lot of them didn't even know what it was though.
Right.
You know
To be
what I mean?
honest, they didn't know what it was.
They didn't know what it was, but they
Nah.
just seen it.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, how do y'all feel like, you see Jeezy now, 15, 16 years later, definitely have elevated and matured, and, you know what I mean? Even Gucci, Gucci did it. Both of them came in, chunky guys, didn't really care about health, when you running that rapper lifestyle, you don't really care. You out all night, you go eat Waffle House, you drink, you know what I mean? But to see them now, in their 40s, you know what I mean, and to change their body, their whole mindset. I mean, it's dope. It's dope to see. Like, it's definitely dope.
You gotta elevate, man. If you go 20 years down the road and you trying to live like you was 20 years ago, it's something wrong. Something's definitely wrong with you, man. Like if you don't elevate to the next level, you're gonna fade out anyway. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Like, because nobody's gonna want to listen to what you was talking about 20 years ago. Like, it's just not gonna happen, man.
True.
Exactly. All right, we say all that to say this now. Let's get to the nitty gritty, man. Who y'all got in this battle, man? Start with you, Tom. Who you got?
I gotta have Jeezy all day.
All day. You think it's gonna be close? Or
I think it depends on what's the mood. Because really, like y'all talking about when Gucci first came out, he had all the strip clubs on lock.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So if they want to make it like a party, longevity, I think it's gonna be Jeezy all day.
Right.
I say if they do like 10 tracks.
They're gonna do 20. They're gonna do 20.
20 tracks.
They're gonna do 20.
20 tracks. At this age now, I still gotta give it to Jeezy.
Los.
I feel like this, man. Later years, Gucci got Jeezy. He had some crossover. He had some crossover tracks.
Yeah.
He had he made tracks with all the hottest people that was on top. Recent years. Now, early years, Jeezy has him, but those tracks from like 5-6 years ago, man.
And one thing Gucci did a great thing was connecting the youth. Gucci, I hear he's behind the Migos.
Yep.
Thug,
all those,
all that. So he did a great job of
Rich Homie,
yeah, all those.
So
young
that's going. I think because the way the verse is set up, the club bangers are not gonna really. Only thing, like, they're not really gonna matter too much, like, because you got people in New York that never heard some of that Gucci, mixtape stuff.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So that's another thing that's gonna be like, cause it's gonna like the biased New York niggas. They don't understand the mixtape Gucci shit.
Right? Because I done talked to a lot of people that's like been from up north, and like all the stuff that we were playing in the club didn't get spins outside of the southeast region. You see what I'm saying? So,
right.
I think it's gonna be close, man. Just it really depends on how they counter each other and how they like my man said, how they set it up.
Right.
Because like I said, later years Gucci got him
when he crossed, like you said.
Yeah, but early Gucci, early Jeezy, like from Recession on back, he couldn't touch him. Right. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on what songs they pick to counter, because good music gonna go rock regardless. So
absolutely. I was telling somebody earlier this week. Yeah, after Jeezy's third album, it gets really blurry. Like after Recession, you can't really name that many Jeezy albums that you really fucked with. Like that.
He might drop a hot song like.
Right, he definitely still did drop some hot songs.
Once he got to a certain level, his music definitely slowed down.
You're right.
I mean, you had to wait like 2 or 3 years before he dropped another album.
Yeah.
So, right. But I was telling my guy, like I was like, yo, but Jeezy got that Big Joker, which is the first album. The first album is the Big Joker. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing, right? We played that in the club, right? Mm-hmm. But was he getting played everywhere in the club? You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, Jeezy first album sold a couple million. You know what I mean? And if he didn't get bootlegs so heavy, this shit probably would have sold.
What I'm saying is, we played the whole album in the club, right?
Right.
Did everywhere play the whole album, or did they play the boom boom clap? You know what I'm saying? The radio hits.
The radio hits.
That's what I'm saying. So when people say it was a big album, it did sell a lot. But was the whole world, North Carolina and Georgia, they were playing the whole complete album. But was that going on everywhere in the United States, or was it just going on in this area? You see what I'm saying? Like, so that's the argument I always have with people, because when it was between him and T.I., I said T.I. was going to win it. Mm-hmm. And it was because of that reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, the crossover music, he had features that were up to date, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot that he was going to win.
I think T.I. would murder both of them.
Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna have to go with him.
I don't think murder. I think T.I. would have won, because T.I.'s in my top 5. Like T.I. took my top 5 favorite rappers of all time. But murder.
I mean, after you get past their 10, after you get past your 10, you small 20. Nah. Bro.
Now, what Jeezy has that nobody has is that political track, like that Never Fade, that My President is Black. Like, everybody knows that track, no matter if you're black, white, Mexican, Asian, like, everybody knows that track, and it was so, like,
it was on time,
fitting at the time, right? So
he has to drop that before he got.
That's what you call a bulletproof track that nobody's gonna be able to beat from him.
So what is Gucci gonna do when Jeezy drop this?
I know you ain't gonna let this shit go down like this, nigga. I'm hearing these niggas in the club, niggas sounding like you, nigga. Buying your motherfucking ad-lib, buying your motherfucking style, nigga. What the fuck going on, nigga? You better check these motherfucking niggas, man.
Hold on,
real fuck with real, nigga. And these niggas ain't real out here on these motherfuckers.
That's a club banger.
But I think certain songs they can't play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a club banger, no doubt about it, man. But I don't know how they gonna. That's what it depends on how they setting this up. Because if he drops something like my shirt off,
I know you ain't gonna let
or something like that, the counter, or like
niggas in the club, niggas sounding like you, nigga. Buy your motherfucking ad-lib, buy your motherfucking.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like those are big club bangers, man.
Real fuck with real, nigga. And these niggas ain't real out here on these motherfucking streets, nigga.
You know what I'm saying?
They ain't gonna show it to the listener.
Nigga, we been doing this shit since 95.
Last time I checked, I was the man on these streets. They call me
30 years. You know what I'm saying? And you made songs about me, I made songs about you. And then we quietly, you know what I'm saying, we squash it, but not publicly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now we got these songs. It's just like you put Hit 'Em Up against Who Shot You.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though if they was cool again, you know what I mean? What the internet gonna do?
Right.
The internet gonna start saying, they still beefing. Right. And it's gonna start all over again. So I really think they're gonna have to prove each other this, man.
This song was heavy in the club and stuff and in the streets, right?
Right.
But mainstream America don't know this song.
No, I think they know this.
You think so?
I definitely think they know this. I think a lot of I could play some Gucci stuff that a lot of mainstream America don't know. Like, let me just let's go
like,
with.
It's crazy to say, like, Soul Survivor is probably but that's like a mainstream.
That was a mainstream song for
right.
Gucci.
Yeah.
know we're not talking about neither one of these.
No, this here's a good one. Do a lot of people know.
Listen to this track, bitch.
Right. That's a club banger, right?
Club banger.
Yeah. So, you know,
that probably make it past the gym.
Right.
That probably didn't make it past the gym.
That's the thing, man, with these tracks, man. Like, are you gonna pull out the mainstream ones that sold, or are you gonna pull out the club bangers? Because, you know, when I done been to see both of these guys in concert, right? They play. They both like they chart the songs that they play, right?
Right.
It be their club bangers, and they, you know, they do maybe a couple mainstream hits, but it mostly be the ones that the crowd can sing along.
Love. Right. Like Boosie. Like
that's what I was about to bring up too.
Like Boosie, Set It Off. That wasn't even a song.
It never touched the radio.
That song never was on the radio.
That
song was hot in the streets, and that's
in a club, man.
That shit was never on the radio, but that's his biggest song to date. Right. That's what he in every concert with. Set It Off. He know when he do Set It Off, the show is over.
You know what's
but
funny?
But if you're in New York, you probably don't know that.
They don't know that. Like It's so funny, and you just like, how do you not know it? But then, you know, that's how 50 was in New York. 50 had mixtape songs that used to set the club off that we did not know down here, man. Right. Like, so, I mean, it's just your region. Like, that's why I say, I guess it depends on how they set it up, man, you know.
But if you're talking about, see, this international, what they doing now, you know, this is global.
Right.
So they're going to have to, you know what I'm saying, to get everybody's attention, they're going to have to use the mainstream.
The mainstream joints.
Now, if they was in a club in Atlanta.
Right. And they probably going to play it like it's in Atlanta. You know what I mean? They probably ain't going to be thinking about what the fuck, you know, the people up north. It's really just that up north bias shit, really, that they don't, them niggas up there don't
out west in Cali, man, like, you play, like, I remember going to Vegas, like, and they would play, you know, mainstream. They would, like, we be bouncing to that trap. Down here, it's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, that's gonna determine, you know, the difference is like how they set it up, man. Are they gonna cater to the trap in the streets, or are they gonna cater to the mainstream audience, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be
but
dope
20
to see.
tracks though, they're gonna have to use both.
You said that again.
20 tracks, they're gonna have to use both.
Well, the features. See,
so
yeah. So if you got features,
they use the features too.
Yeah. So
in that case,
like
so cause Jeezy got the joint play that big song he did with like Rihanna. Yeah, I forget the name of it, but
so those features count. You know, Jeezy got one with Kanye.
Yeah.
You know, like
he got Kanye's joint.
Features.
And he got a shitload of Jay-Z songs too.
Right.
True. Him and Jay-Z really gotten they bag. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a pretty easy win for Jeezy. Truthfully, it's gonna be a pretty. I
might have to play devil's advocate just because, you know what I'm saying. I might say Gucci because of, like I said, his later years. You know, but
yeah, because Gucci definitely got that, like, I get the bag and fumble it,
right?
Like those, like that new shit. Like, I mean, Gucci is more relevant musically. I think Jeezy is the bigger name. I think Jeezy's the bigger name. Like Jeezy almost crossed over.
I understand though the time frame you coming from. You see what I'm saying when you say Jeezy, because it's like it's almost like a no-brainer how his effect was during that time. But when you look at the span of it, I don't think he can wash him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Jeezy can wash Gucci from the time frame, man.
And I think, now I think about it, like you were saying, of course, I was a Jeezy fan way before I even knew who Gucci was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, by the time Gucci came out, I was already, you know,
a lockdown Jeezy.
Yeah. I was already a lockdown Jeezy fan. And so, even his first tracks, I heard all of it was trap music. I mean, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Club music. Actually, I think the first time I even heard him was in the strip club.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think all his music in the beginning was.
It was definitely like for the strip clubs and clubs and.
Definitely all for it. Let's get into some more vibes. Gucci.
Scooch. Strop top. What's up?
It's definitely gonna be part of the 20.
Hey. You get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight out the lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a blood in it. Lil' mama like that, and she got ass. Ain't gon' fuck up a bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast, dropping the dope in the stash. In Italy, got too foreign hoes, they DM me. Draw at the top.
This shit right here was this tough one from Gucci. This like the second song that I heard from Gucci. I was like,
In the trap house.
I was like, okay.
Gucci bag checking, chopper on the floor, pistol on the couch. Good rich, so I never had a bank account. Jack is going in, Jack is going out. Man, I heard it down in my trap house. Money kinda short, but we can work it out. Man, I heard it down in my trap house. Rich going in.
This is when Gucci was super scorching.
It's your boy Yo
This is when they played them sets.
Yeah. Gucci Mane the Flair. My nigga Ralph in here. Say Tobin on the beat, nigga. And it's a street nigga holiday. My nigga DJ Holiday. Yeah. Bricks. All white bricks. All white bricks. White tan bricks. Just hit a lick for 50 more bricks. Ballin' like a bitch with all these bricks. 36 zips. That's a whole chick. One bad bitch. Gotta have bricks. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I make hits, but I still take so I can see, yo, I'm a fool with the snow. They think I'm putting VVS jewels in the coke. My watch a cool 100, paint job a cold 20. And after this flip, I'm quitting the trap cold turkey. Psych, the pack in and I'm working. Drought season in, charge your ass a whole 30. But right now you can get it for a low number. This bitch scale white, same color, my Hummer. Zone 6, polar bears never.
You gotta play I Think I Love Him, man.
Yeah, old boy, this is the official hustler's anthem. You getting money?
So what?
Throw it.
Anybody challenge no locks, boys?
Say it again.
Locks.
You think anybody? What about?
Challenge them in the verses?
I mean, Jadakiss done went against Fab already, but I mean, like group, like a group versus group.
Well, hang on. I missed that one.
Oh, you missed the Jada Fab.
Yeah, Fab.
Yeah, Jada won. Jada won too.
And he was super drunk, and nobody expected Jada to win. I know I didn't. I was like, Fab.
But Fab just that's a regional thing. You know what I'm saying? I think Clue crippled Fab.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion right there.
You know what I'm saying? Because he was so loyal. When you heard of Clue, he did all Clue joints.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The whole Desert Storm.
Right.
You know, you ain't had nothing but Fab.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? This is me personally. I don't know what this would happen, but this is my outside looking in opinion. I feel like he worked so much and did so much work with Clue.
Right.
He didn't work on his own brand.
Right.
Because anytime you see...
Yeah, we didn't know. We still... One thing I think what hurt Fab is we didn't never know much about him. Like, we just knew he was a dope ass rapper. We know Clue, he could dress well. Right. Clue put him out, but we didn't never know much about him. And eventually,
I knew he was from New York. I didn't know he was from Brooklyn for years. You see what I'm saying? Like I thought he was from Harlem because everybody was doing the Harlem Shake in his videos.
So once the music stopped being, because all these rappers outside of a couple, everybody's gonna fall off. That's just
an average rapper got about 5 years of solid. You know what I'm saying? Before, it's just fading away.
Yeah, just fading away. So when it started fading away for Fab, you know what I mean? I was like, and my mom like, you got to be more personal. Like, you got to tell the people about yourself. Who who is Fabulous.
Right, where you from? Like,
Yes.
you know, how you grow up, like
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
People want to know that.
Yeah.
Especially if they're relating to you, man. That's what makes you relatable to your fans.
To your fans, like who is you?
Right.
Like you got to be more than just a song on the radio. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all for a long time what Fab was. But now we live in an era now where social media, everybody.
Man, Instagram like just show these people every day. You know, it still don't really show their real life, but they can portray whoever they want to be. They can show you videos at a certain time that they have going on, and people believe it, you know. But you know, they're not showing their full life, but they're showing you more than we were seeing before the internet.
Well, yeah, we were seeing before the. But it's certain artists that I like that don't give people much, like Kendrick Lamar,
Cole,
and Cole,
right?
And it helps them because.
It's
We
a
don't.
mystery.
It's a mystery. We don't know nothing about. You know.
It's like when you see them, you're so glad. It's like, oh, they popped out. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Which one do you prefer? Like you prefer?
I'm a heavy Cole fan.
Me too.
You know, but Kendrick, you know, we all know he's a beast. You know, he can go. But I like Cole because I relate more to his music.
Right, his story.
Right.
We all from the Carolinas in here, so.
And just like, you know, when he was rapping on some mixtape stuff, it reminded me, he was talking about some of his teenage stuff, and it was some teenage stuff that I would do, man. Like, or I was doing at the time, you know. And it was so relatable, man. I was like, so I relate more to Cole, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the question I was trying to ask, like, do you like it when the rappers are more of a mystery, or do you like it when you kind of see their whole life all over, you know, social media?
Me personally, like, I'm not a everyday internet person, so I like it more like it's entertaining one side of it, but if I was in that position, I would be a mystery guy. You see what I'm saying? So I kind of respect the mystery guy better than the person that's up there all the time. But you know, it worked for some people. Some people, you know, it don't.
like I said earlier, T.I.'s in my top 5, but he's definitely starting to be annoying to the point where, like, damn, dog,
it's
like
saturated, man.
It's definitely saturated. And why you always in everybody business? Like anything happens,
you said
T.I. definitely always gotta.
He gotta put his 5 cents.
He gotta put his 5 cents.
Oh, he gotta stay relevant to the young. That's why you think his last album fire. I like it. But T.I. never had this many features.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, the younger generation don't.
They're not checking for him.
They're not checking for him at all.
I mean, let's just be honest.
They ain't checking for him at all.
Yeah, like they don't want to hear what people were rapping about, or you know what I'm saying, you cooking coke and stuff like that. They want to know where the Molly and Perks is at. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear about you whipping it in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Or it's just a difference. So he does that, like you said, to stay relevant. He keeps these young guys around, keep features and stuff, like so he can stay relevant. Which I don't know, man, if it helps him or not, because he hit and miss with that a lot too.
Yeah, he definitely hit and miss. It was like, all right, everybody, we about to boycott Houston's. Fuck Houston's. Like, we ain't eating there no more. It's like, you know what I mean? And I love T.I., like, but it's just sometimes it's gotta cut that internet shit off sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like our age group, man, we didn't grow up doing that, so it's unnatural for us to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to be on the internet every day and that's not what you grew up doing, it's almost like you done picked up a new act or something, you know what I'm saying? That's not like naturally. You see what I'm saying? So like we grew up typing in stuff like www, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the new generation, just like everything is right there for them. Like they record everything. They don't have to go search really. It's just right there for them. So when I think of an older, you know what I'm saying, rapper doing it, I'm like, you stooping down a little bit,
right?
You know,
right? Exactly. But You know what I mean? Like Tone, like you, like until you started doing like podcasts, you was pretty. You ain't really ever see you post a.
Nah, I didn't. I actually was off of social media for like 2.5 years.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was done with social media. I mean, I had like Messenger, cause that's how me and my family would, go back and forth sometimes. But like on the IG, Facebook, I was off for literally, it was almost 3 years. Cause I got tired of, when you let, let's say people, and I'm not throwing no shots at nobody, but sometimes them spirits can come off on you and mess your day up, give you that negative vibe.
I agree with you 100%.
You know what I'm saying? And like one time with social media, and it may be going on now, if it ain't about the podcasting or some kind of money, I keep scrolling anyway.
Right.
But like if you always listen to that negativity,
it becomes a part of your life.
Yeah. And I'm saying I had to check myself on it. This is when I got off. I never went on a rant like on Facebook or social media period. One day I went on a rant. You know what I'm saying? I posted like